with Watto, Darth Maul arrived on Tatooine. Using the evil powers of the Sith, he had tracked the Queen and the Jedi to the desert planet. Now he was eager to fight. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon convinced Watto to bet on the pod race.
If we win, you keep all the winnings minus the cost of the parts I need. And if we lose, you keep my ship. Deal.
Watto laughed. Then the Jedi raised the stakes.
I'll wager my new racing pod against, say, the boy and his mother.
Watto hesitated.
No pod is worth 2 slaves.
Unable to convince him, Qui-Gon offered his pod for just the boy. Watto agreed. Qui-Gon sensed that Anakin was strong with the Force. Just before the race, he told the boy,
Remember, concentrate on the moment. Feel. Don't think. Use your instincts.
Then, Anakin was off, the pod's twin engines screaming as he tore down the track. Pod racing was hard enough by itself, but on Tatooine, everyone cheated. The racers slammed into one another. Using his instincts, Anakin avoided all the traps. But as he hurtled down the final stretch, Anakin's pod got hooked on the leading pod, and they roared toward the finish line together. At the last minute, his opponent's steering rod snapped, and his ship smashed into a wall. Anakin spun across the finish line, alone. After the race, Qui-Gon surprised Anakin.
You're no longer a slave.
Anakin was stunned. Then Qui-Gon made a fateful decision. He offered to take Anakin before the Jedi Council to ask if he could teach him the ways of the Jedi.
Our meeting was not a coincidence.
Anakin was thrilled until he learned he would have to leave his mother behind.
I don't want things to change.
Shmi comforted him.
But you can't stop the change, any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
After one final hug, Anakin bravely turned away and left with the Jedi. With the parts they'd won, Qui-Gon was able to repair the Queen's ship. But as they hurried to the transport, they were attacked by Darth Maul.
Anakin, stop! Go! Tell them to take off!
As Anakin raced for the ship, the Jedi and the Sith fought. Their laser swords flashed through the air. They jumped and spun furiously, kicking clouds of dust. At the last moment, Qui-Gon leaped aboard the ship and they blasted to safety. The Jedi was exhausted. That was a surprise he wouldn't soon forget. The Jedi, Anakin, the Queen, and her escorts flew to Coruscant. There, Qui-Gon told the Jedi Council about the mysterious warrior he'd fought.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
Yoda, one of the Jedi Masters, was deeply concerned. If the Sith were involved, the Republic was in grave danger. Qui-Gon then asked the Jedi Masters to test Anakin. The Jedi Council agreed, but in the end, Anakin was rejected. One of the senior Jedi, Mace Windu, told Qui-Gon,
"No, he will not be trained. He is too old."
But Qui-Gon knew that Anakin would become a Jedi. He secretly vowed to train the boy himself. Meanwhile, Queen Amidala and her advisors found no help on Coruscant. The Republic Senate was too bogged down in endless meetings to act quickly and save Naboo. Returning to Naboo with the Jedi, the Queen sought help from the Gungans, the species who shared her planet. Anakin expected the Queen to do the talking, but suddenly, Padme stepped forward.
I am Queen Amidala. This is my decoy.
Padme was actually the ruler of Naboo. The Gungans agreed to help and marched their trained army into battle. Blaster bolts filled the air as thousands of battle droids attacked. The Gungans were outnumbered. Luckily, the Gungan attack was a trick. The Jedi wanted to lure the battle droids away from the palace so they could sneak in and recapture the capital city. Unfortunately, Darth Maul wasn't fooled. He was waiting when the Jedi and the Queen arrived. Immediately, the two Jedi placed themselves between the Queen and the Sith Lord. Darth Maul attacked. It was 2 against 1, but the Sith Lord held his ground. He was armed with his dual-sided lightsaber and terrifying skill. The lightsabers of the 3 warriors sent up a shower of sparks as they fought. As the battle raged around him, Anakin hid inside a nearby starfighter with the droid R2-D2. Then he accidentally pushed a button, and the ship launched into space.
Oops, wrong one. It's on automatic pilot. Hang on!
Anakin and R2 were being fired at from all directions. The starfighter darted through space, but was soon struck.
We're hit!
Half out of control, the ship streaked right into a space battle, dodging laser fire and spinning around. R2 and Anakin hung on for their lives. The starfighter tore right into the docking bay of the Trade Federation droid control ship. Battle droids surrounded the ship. Frantically, Anakin pressed the firing button and scattered them with laser blasts. Then he launched 2 torpedoes that flew right past the droids.
Whoa!
But the Force was with him. Anakin may have missed the droids, but the torpedoes flew straight into the ship's engine room. The cruiser started to explode. R2 and Anakin raced their starfighter out, just as the huge ship vanished in a ball of fire. Down on Naboo, the battle droids froze in place. With their command battleship destroyed, the Federation army could not function. The war for the planet was over. But the battle of the Jedi and the Sith raged on. Qui-Gon fought bravely, but Darth Maul was too strong for him. With a vicious stroke, the Sith Lord cut the Jedi down. A moment later, young Obi-Wan killed Darth Maul with a lightning blow, then rushed to Qui-Gon's side.
Master!
Obi-Wan, promise me you will train the boy.
With those words, the great Jedi died. Although Qui-Gon had been lost, the battle had been won. The Trade Federation had been driven from Naboo, and the planet was safe. Anakin watched as the people of Naboo celebrated their freedom. He wished his mother could see how far he had already come, but he knew he could not return home yet. Obi-Wan agreed to teach him the ways of the Jedi, and soon his training would begin. Yet at the same time, the Jedi Council's worries grew. One Sith Lord had been defeated, but as the Jedi Yoda said,
Always 2 there are. No more, no less. A master and an apprentice.
somewhere among the stars there was another Sith Lord lurking in the galaxy, waiting for the chance to strike.